Hello everyone, in this video you will know what an intensive property of state is and what an extensive property is. In addition, specific properties will also be explained. So first, let's look at some examples. And this is a swimming pool. And you jump into this swimming pool in winter, you will feel frozen, right? So in this case, temperature is one property. Temperature T is one property of water in this swimming pool. And another example is that if you want to deliver a 100 kilogram luggage, 100 kilogram, and you might fail to do it because it is too heavy for you. So here mass is also a property of this luggage. So through these two examples, let's define what is properties. So properties is characteristic a system has. Property is characteristic a system has. And a system usually have more than one property, not only one. And we have mentioned in this example, temperature is one property of water in this swimming pool, and water may have another property, for instance mass, pressure, and so on. So okay, now I want to list some important properties in thermodynamics. And we have temperature T, we have pressure P, we have density ρ, we have also volume V, internal energy U, answer P, H, entropy S. And of course there are many other relevant properties such as free energy, and they will be introduced in certain topic later. Okay, you may notice that I listed these 7 properties into 2 rows, right? So you may guess that properties can be categorized into 2 groups, and you have right. One group is called intensive property, and the other group is called extensive property. And the reason why we divide into 2 groups is that some kind of properties depend on mass of the system, such as volume, but others do not, such as temperature. So here I change the color into red. So we define intensive properties as properties which do not depend on mass of a system, such as temperature T, pressure T, and the density ρ. And extensive properties do depend on mass, such as volume V, internal energy U, and so on. So let's back to our list here, and this group belongs to intensive properties, and this group belongs to extensive properties. Okay, and in thermodynamics we also use another kind of property which names specific property, and this is not the third group. Actually, this sort of property belongs to extensive property, and we define specific property as extensive properties per unit mass. So we see only extensive properties have specific properties, because intensive properties, as I mentioned, do not depend on mass. So for example, I have a box here, and this box has a specific property concerning volume, and we call it specific volume, and we write in this way: little v means specific volume is equal to the volume over m, mass of this box. And pay attention, we usually use little alphabet to indicate specific properties. So okay, after talking about the properties, I will introduce you state. Okay, a system may have lots of conditions. It could have different pressures, different temperatures, or different volumes, and each condition can be described by its properties, and we call this condition in thermodynamics state. So state is condition which can be described by its properties. And each condition may has its own properties, I will say. So it is very important. Each condition or each state has its own properties. Okay, and we use state in thermodynamic instead of condition. Okay, and I will introduce you some details about properties and state, such as point function, in second part of this topic, and we will talk about how can we determine whether a variable is property of state or not.